6:02 p.m. and ask everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome Leslie as our new board clerk and ask her to do roll call, please.
Hold on, I have to get on the right meeting. Okay, Mark DePace,
Here.
Amanda Grubler. Here. Kirsten Gustafson.
Here.
Willette Jones. Calvin Lewis.
Here.
Matthew Macker.
Here.
Lakia Walker. Here.
Great.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor? And that brings us to the student representative report.
Good evening. My name is Labona. I'm the second vice president of Student Council. I'm here instead of Thomas. Today, this week, students have their midterms/regencies. On February 14th, the Multicultural is holding a talent show. There's auditions currently happening. Next week, on Monday 27th, Model UN is holding a mini session. The Triumph Musical Honor Society is holding a Queen of Hearts dance on February 15th. The class of 2026 is holding a Krispy Kreme fundraiser. That's it.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. That brings us to special recognitions.
So tonight, we have special recognition for 4 community members. And during this time, we recognize community members that have contributed to the district in some way. And so the spotlight is, and we give them an award called the Spotlight on Excellence. So for tonight's Spotlights on Excellence, the first person is Roxanne Carpenter from Mental Health. I'm not sure if she's here tonight. We also have Miss Joanne Alley. And from Global Partners All Town Fresh, we have Robin Yanucci, Director of Field Marketing. Is Miss Yanucci here? Yes. All right. And we also have Maureen Rubino, the Manager of Charitable Initiative for Global Partners All Town Fresh. And the reason why we're recognizing them tonight is that they gave a substantial donation to the high school. So we just want to thank you, and I'd like to ask you to come forward to receive your Spotlight on Excellence certificates.
Thank you.
Might be tough to frame salt in there.
Okay.
That's everybody.
It is everybody. Okay.
I can set it right now, I believe. Oh, I didn't start the meeting.
They are.
Wearing slippers that you can wear that.
Kim's here.
Um, Okay. On behalf of the Board of Education and the Superintendent of Schools, we would like to recognize the retirement of Kim Carnegie, Director of Student Services, and thank her for 15-plus years of service in the Hudson City School District. We wish her good health and happiness in the years ahead. Congratulations. I'll take a picture with Kim, too.
All the way around the end.
Okay. At this time, there's no need for an early executive session. Brings us to personnel agenda. I'd like to make a motion to accept personnel agenda items A, numbers 1 through 4, and item B, numbers 1 through 5.
Second.
All in favor?
Who seconded?
Calvin.
Kelvin. Thank you.
Okay. Brings us to public forum. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to convene into the public comment period of our meeting. Although state law does not require us to hold a public comment period, we have chosen to do so because we believe it is crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns and issues. Having said that, please note that the board is here to listen. The public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. It's because we take your concerns and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if need be. We will, however, respond to your questions and concerns at a future meeting or have the proper staff member get back to you. Also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel. We take these matters seriously and ask you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. Each speaker is given 3 minutes.
Rocky Payne.
Mr. Rocky Payne.
Good evening. I'm Rocky Payne, school counselor. I know there's a presentation, I think, done at the last board meeting. I wasn't able to attend being ill, but I feel this is overdue. I wanted to give thanks and recognition to Ms. Rabinowitz and her IT department. Namely, there have been some initiatives from the guidance department that they've been very instrumental. We were in our second cycle of our digital testing administration to practice SAT. It went off very well. We had the support. We also had Questar recruitment videos, and her team put together a translation system for our students, so it hit the equity aspect. We also are going to have the first round of our digital AP exams this year, and Mr. Ellsworth already and I are going to meet about it. So I just wanted to go on the record and thank Ms. Rabinowitz and her team because they've been very instrumental in delivering services for our students. And again, I'd like to thank you, Ms. Rabinowitz. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Payne. Anybody else, Leslie?
Nope, that's it.
No? Brings us to the superintendent's report.
Right, so good evening to the board and to our community who is present. tonight I'm going to speak to you about our strategic plan, 2025 to 2028. Just a little bit of a background. When I came last year, there was a strategic plan that was created, but due to the superintendent leaving, it was never really implemented. So after conversation with the board members, I decided to go in with the team and then just to revise the current strategic plan and add to it based on the data received. So at the heart of the strategic plan 2028 is a 3-year implementation framework built on 6 evidence-based keys for instructional improvement. And this plan provides a clear pathway for sustained growth and success by setting goals and goals implementation. And as detailed in the following pages, the next few pages of the presentation, we'll focus on the following strategies over the next 3 years. They are strengthening the instructional core, which will enhance teaching quality and raise curriculum standards and boost student engagement and achievement. Improving data-driven practices. This involves using data to guide decisions, identifying areas of growth, tracking progress, and making adjustments as needed. Next, we're promoting a positive and inclusive school environment. What will this do? This will ensure a safe, welcoming, and supporting space for all stakeholders. We'll strengthen the leadership capacity and emphasize the importance of effective leadership at every level in driving our school improvement. We will have a tiered approach to support and intervention, which means a multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS, as you often hear us refer to. And finally, increasing monitoring and accountability. This will uphold the high standards and measures of effectiveness of our improvement efforts. So we want together to just create a school environment that not only supports academic success, but also cultivate the emotional well-being of our students. And so with your continued partnership, we are preparing our students for brighter and successful futures. What is the mission? The mission, the vision, and the guiding principle. So the mission is to embrace all students and inspire them to achieve their personal best as Blue Hawks and beyond. The vision is we will create we will create and continually to nurture an inclusive learning environment that honors the many passions, the cultures, the talents of all of our students. And as students, staff, and a community, we commit to learning, exploring, and achieving together. Now, within every system and every organization, it is imperative that we have guiding principles. So our mission will be able to be achieved, and also our vision will be able to be a success if we have these guiding principles. They are: be compassionate, foster acceptance and inclusion, respect and honor student voices, demonstrate respect for each member of our school community, and work together. Believe in each other. Act with courage, integrity, honesty, and transparency. Be present, and then to explore new ways to teach and learn. On these next visuals that you see is our school profile. So we have 3 schools. We have MC Smith Elementary, Hudson Junior High, Hudson Senior High. We have an enrollment of 1,605, and this is real-time data from this school year. We have a staff of, and we employ staff and faculty and staff of 600 employees with at least 12 years average experience. The median teacher salary is $51,102. The student-teacher ratio is 12:1 with an average class size of around 20. The demographics in our school district consist of 9.4% Asian, 38.2% white, 14.0% multiracial, Hispanic or Latino, 19.6, and Black or African American, 17.6. We also have a graph on student subgroups, and I just want to briefly go through that. So for English language learners, we have between 150 to 160 students. Students with disabilities, we have approximately 300. Economically disadvantaged, we have about 1,000 students. And then the homeless student population is approximately 73. So those are just numbers of what we have currently. Specialized programs in the district, as you know, we have our Blue Hawk Academy, and we also have English as a new language, or ENL. So we have a total of 148 students in English as a new language, or our ENL classrooms. In 2019, the New York State Board of Regents, they launched a portrait of a graduate. These graduation measures, they explore what a New York State diploma should signify, and to ensure educational excellence and equity for all students. So our vision here in Hudson is to prepare our students with 21st century skills, which allows each student to graduate and then have the opportunity to succeed with their future goals and graduation. And so today I was in a meeting and we started talking about the 22nd century. The 22nd century is just 5 years away, believe it or not. So we were having 6 years away, 2025, yeah, by 2030. So we were talking today in a meeting I was with the other superintendents, which kind of just brought things full front and center, like, wow, 5 years, that's not that long. So with this portrait of a graduate, we have now have to begin to take this portrait of a graduate and not only, infuse it within our district, but then to use it to proactively begin to prepare for our students for the 22nd century. All right, so our graduates, what are they? They're critical thinkers and problem solvers. This is what our state said that our graduates should be, according to the NYSED State Board of Regents. They should have an innovative mindset. They should understand the bigger picture. They should be able to propose solutions that are mindful or have impact. They should improve their thinking and analyze. They should be able to assess. They should be able to apply discipline thinking that is clear, rational, open-minded, and evidence-based to become masterful problem solvers. They should be able to ask questions to gain knowledge and different perspectives. Our graduates are literate across all content areas. They know how to transfer knowledge. They know how to use content knowledge in both routine and innovative ways in real-world situations. They're able to develop and draw from a baseline understanding of knowledge in an academic setting, and they're literate in technology and communication skills. And with the 22nd century coming in, being literate in technology and communication skills is going to be very, very of most important. Our graduates, what are they? They're leaders. They should have vision and inspire positive action in others and themselves. They should be able to recognize, invest, and leverage strengths to build collective ownership and actions. They should be able to create environments with conditions that empower others. They should be able to effectively build relationships with others through trust and collaboration. Our graduates are also global citizens. They should demonstrate civic responsibility, empower self and others to make differences in the local world and the community. They should be able to value and respect diverse cultures, demonstrate empathy and resilience, challenge and advocate themselves and the rights of others, and learn from diverse literatures, experience, and voices. And last but not least, our graduates are communicators. They should be able to actively listen, be flexible, adapt to the needs of any audience. They should be able to articulate through written and oral and nonverbal skills, and to develop a digital footprint in impart knowledge and experience. Our commitment to equity. In developing our strategic plan, we place equity at the center of every conversation and decision. Our approach to including strong representation across all stakeholder groups. This reflects our commitment to ensuring that every student feels seen, valued, supported, and regardless of their background, identity, or circumstances. As a district, we acknowledged the historical inequities that have impacted our students and our community. Therefore, our Strategic Plan 2028 is designed to break down barriers and foster and actively embrace diversity as an asset, and have committed to providing each student with the access to high-quality, inclusive education that honors the uniqueness the unique needs and talents of all our students. And one of the things that often I go places and I say, yeah, I work in Hudson, that is the first thing that everyone always says. Hudson, wow, how great. You guys have such a great, diverse set of students, and you should be proud of that. The community is diverse, and so that is something that I am very proud of, to be able to represent the district, but it's also great when you go out into the community or to other meetings across the state and you're being acknowledged for this. Also, we received a call, I received an email, and then a follow-up conversation with the state of New York, what NICET. They have asked our district, because of the great work that has been done by Dr. Pressey and the rest of our team with our DE&I initiatives, they have asked Dr. Pressey and I to present. They're really impressed with our website. They could have chosen any other district, but out of 800 districts in New York, they chose three districts, and Hudson is one of the districts that will be presenting to all of the districts across the state. I believe we're doing this in March. So as you can read about our diversity, equity, and inclusion plan on the website, you'll find that there's strategies and goals that align with the ambitions of the Hudson City School District equity and inclusion policy, which is on our website. And so this is a commitment to equity, and without reading the entire PowerPoint to you, I think that basically I have portrayed the importance of that equity played within our strategic planning. Community and stakeholder engagement. Community members, staff, and students were all invited to focus group to provide input on our district strengths and opportunities for growth. We performed a comprehensive district data analysis, including an in-depth review of culture and climate, a survey that yielded responses from over 150 stakeholders. We built a representative group of stakeholders to form strategic planning and steering committee. This included leaders from the Board of Education, the district, the community members, students. And our steering committee reviewed all the data and performed strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and strengths, or SWOT analysis, on June 18th of 2024. Using the SWOT analysis, the strategic planning committee developed problem statements to shape the strategic plan moving forward. So we deeply thank all of our community members who participated. And you can't really see that well, but is a timeline on this, where things, so the survey and the focus group and the needs assessment were done like between May, June, and July, and August. And then we began to plan socialization in October and November. Then the steering committee provided feedback. There was an introductory meeting, a vision meeting, goals review, and a strategy develop meeting. and then we also have plan revision and feedback. So we thank all of our community members, teachers, families, students, and staff who contributed to developing the vision of this plan. So without each of their tireless efforts, we could not have done it. And I will stress continuously the importance of collaboration and teamwork with our community members, our staff, and our students. Key for school improvement number 1 is to strengthen the instructional core. Priority 1, to implement and align high-quality curriculum and effective instructional technology across the district. How will we measure our evidence of success? We will use a curriculum map to demonstrate and align with state standards across the content area and grade levels. We will implement professional learning structures that encourage cross-curricular grade-level collaboration to improve vertical and horizontal alignment across the district. We will support the effective use of instructional technology in all classrooms and across the district. Key for school improvement number 2, improving our leadership capacity. We will develop a standard district-wide feedback and coaching process to support principals as instructional leaders. Some of our evidence for success will be to develop a classroom walkthrough protocol to measure the implementation of research-based and differentiation instructional strategies across the district. We will continue to monitor teachers' feedback related to instructional leaders and areas of need with biannual surveys. We will have meetings that are facilitated by school leaders, and we will focus on student learning and research-based instructional best practices. Priority 3. The key for school improvement 3 is improve data-driven practice. Our priority 3 is to enable teachers to utilize student learning data during professional learning to improve instruction in all classrooms. What are the evidence of success here? We will build meaningful time into all teachers' schedules for student data review and collaboration in professional learning. We will create data collection protocols that support standardized approach to collection and processing of student learning data. We will capture ongoing feedback from teachers regarding professional learning protocols and effective collaboration data review practices. Our priority 4, improve data literacy among teachers and school leaders. What are the evidence of success? Our evidence will be to offer professional development and training for 100% of instructional staff to enable accuracy in interpreting student data, identifying trends, and making data-informed decisions. We will create user-friendly tools and enhance access to student data and ensure usability to inform instruction. We will build systems to evaluate the effectiveness of data-driven interventions to monitor the impact on student outcomes. Key for school improvement number 4, to promote a positive school environment. Priority 5, to improve meaningful engagement with families and students. What are some of the evidence of success? We will improve family presence at school events or meetings. We will ensure all families attend at least one event per year. We will implement My SABRIS, a social survey for students with 75% or more completion by surveyed students. Priority 6, we will create district-wide restorative practices embedded into classroom and school culture. The evidence of success will be to develop district-wide expectations and definitions for implementation of restorative practices by subject and grade level. Staff and all levels implement restorative practices in the classroom. We will ensure that we create and utilize annual survey to collect student and staff feedback, monitor the implementation of the restorative practices, and identify areas of success and additional support. Priority 7, improve feelings of safety among students and families on all campuses. How will we measure our evidence of success? We will monitor and update the District Code of Conduct in accordance with evolving expectations for staff, students, and community members. 100% of staff will be trained and implementing trauma-informed practices. And then we will annually utilize the Panorama Survey to monitor staff, student, and parents on their feelings of safety. Key for school improvement number 5, which is a tiered approach to school support. Priority 8. We will create and sustain a cohesive district-wide approach to supporting students with multi-tiered system of support, or MTSS. What are the evidence of success here? We will survey staff to understand current student support processes on each campus and utilize planning through committees to create and monitor a cohesive structure approach to revisions in how students are supported. We will measure the progress of benchmark assessments with particular focus on the lowest third of students that are making significant progress. We will measure and decrease the number of students referred to Tier 3 interventions. Key for school improvement 6, which is to increase monitoring and accountability. Our priority number 9 is to improve communication with students and caregivers about learning, data, informed student-specific goal setting. How will we measure success? We will create a tool to help teachers unpack initial screening data to inform student-specific goal-setting processes. We will create structures to include students and families in academic goal-setting processes. We will train teachers in data protocols to inform instructional decision-making and differentiation. District goals by 2028. Instructional excellence. 1, to increase ELA, math, science, and social studies proficiency at every level as demonstrated on state exams. We will increase the graduation rate. We will enhance career readiness by increasing students' exposure to professional or licensed trades, workplaces, and educational opportunities. We will increase the number of college fairs and educational programs. A culture of student support. We will increase the attendance rate. We will decrease the dropout rate. We will reduce suspension rates and days students are suspended. We will examine and upgrade district communications to families, protocols to gauge effectiveness. We will ensure 90% of all our students report feeling safe at school. And we will increase opportunities for student and community voice in decision-making processes. Data-driven accountability. We will train all academic staff to use a robust, multi-tiered system of supports for data review and planning student interventions. We will measure and regularly review student progress on benchmarking assessments with particular focus on the lowest third of students making significant progress. Measures and decrease the numbers of student referred. We will measure and decrease the number of students referred to Tier 3 interventions. This is the end of the strategic plan, and I'd like to take this time just to thank the board for your support and participation in the plan, my executive team. I'd like to thank the principals. We had lots of teachers and my student advisory team to participate in this. And this is a working and fluid document. I will return from time to time to give updates as to where we are with the strategic plan as we attain our goals and collect data. I will also have a page inserted in the strategic plan with all of the students that participated, all of the teachers that participated, all of our exec team, principals, et cetera. We'll have that listed. So I'll take any questions you may have now.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. One, and maybe I'm being like ignorant in this, but at this point, like the steering committee gave a round of feedback, because I remember participating in sort of the additional, like the original like SWOT analysis and all of that. But when I look at the timeline up there, it looked like there was sort of like a round of feedback once the plan was drafted. Is that something that happened already or is still happening?
No, the round of feedback that you gave us is part of, it's implemented into the plan.
Got it. So there's not a, I guess I'm wondering, like, feedback mechanisms, at this point, this is finalized?
At this point, it's a fluid and working
Got it.
document. So
Okay.
when you write a strategic plan, it's never final, because you have to go back, review it, is this working, is this not working? So it's a fluid document.
Yep.
So after looking at this, if you have other feedback that you would like to give, you could send it and we'll.
Perfect, okay,
And
thanks.
that's anyone, that could be from community members as well as.
And then is there a plan, and I know it doesn't necessarily live in this document, but to sort of quantify some of the goals that were listed when we think about things like increasing attendance, increasing graduation rate, increasing proficiency on scores? Will we quantify those at some point so we know what we're actually striving towards?
Sure, absolutely, and those could be quantified through the goals that you have set for me as the superintendent too, because we do have some quantifiable numbers in there that we had discussed as far as increase attendance rate by so-and-so percent, and that also is the goals of the principals and all of the exec team members. All of our goals will focus around the superintendent's goals, which focuses on the strategic plan.
Okay. The compensation figure that was in the early slide, that was median salary for teachers or the whole
Yeah, labeled
district?
No,
Teacher.
the teachers, that's just teacher median salary.
Well, it seemed low.
Yeah, it feels like that's probably more for
Yeah.
The
staff
district as a whole.
as a whole.
Well, I will check, but that's what's been, that's what we reported, the median salary for the teachers. At first, what I saw, it says 98,000, and then we went back in and looked, and it says the latest number that we have is 50, but I will double check that. That's just the median salary, the average salary for a teacher.
Can you share this actual document with us as a board so we can dive into it like more deeply too?
Sure.
Thanks.
Okay. And what do you think the expected cadence of updates are? Is this something that we review on a semester by semester basis, or so will we see, like, is it a March and June thing, or June the next update? What do you think is realistic?
So I would do it, I would say every quarter,
Okay.
because that gives time to give benchmarks and after benchmarks, and then we have to give another survey, so at least 3 times a year.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. All right, brings us to our consensus agenda. Any questions or comments? Or a few additions earlier today.
Yeah, I've got some comments on the financials that are on here.
Okay.
Basically, we're embarking on the budget process in the next few months. I think we need to make sure as a board we're clear on what is going to happen and how it's going to play out. These are the first financial reports we've seen in 10 months. So I think we need to make sure we're getting them more often. I'm not going to dive into any numbers. I know we've turned over the business office, so, but I do think there are some procedures that might not be happening that I think we could probably benefit from. Budget transfers, I think we need to do more timely budget transfers and make sure that that is the key to managing the budget as a whole. If we are making sure we move money around between different expenses, that will make sure we don't overspend the budget in total. Last year, just looking at the financial reports that are here, we moved money out of 11 different budget items and then overspent those items. So something wasn't happening to manage that part of the budget process. I think transportation, has been on my mind. I think that's going to be an issue for us as we move through the budget process. We need to make sure we get a good number. Last year's actual expense for transportation was $5.1 million, but we only budgeted 4.1 this year. And I think with a timely budget transfer process, those things will be more in our, whether it's us, the business office, they'll be more in the consciousness. And so as we move into this next budget period, we need to get a very clear idea of what we're spending on transportation now. We haven't been budgeting workers' comp and state retirement as an expenditure. That's been going on for a couple of years. I really don't know why. I guess we're probably spending it out of reserves. And I think we just need to have a review of the rationale for that, and make sure that that's still the way we should be doing it. So those are my comments on the finances here.
Great, that's super helpful. Yeah, I think you would definitely keep looking at the fiscal policies, update those wherever we can to make sure that all of these processes are written and set in stone, and then, yeah, just keep working together, and hopefully as we get a new business officer in place, be able to collaborate and get the documentation that we need on a more regular basis. Cool. Any other questions, comments? All right, so make a motion to accept consensus agenda items A through J.
Second.
All in favor? Leslie, anybody else sign up for public comment?
No, I have the sheet. Anybody else for public comment?
Okay, great. Brings us to important dates. The following meetings are scheduled. January 11th, 2025, Board of Ed meeting, 6 p.m., high school auditorium. February 25th, 2025, Policy Committee meeting, 5 p.m., high school library. February 25th, 2025, Board of Ed meeting, 6 p.m., high school auditorium. And at this time, we do need a second executive session, so be it resolved, the Board of Education enters executive session at 6:45 p.m. for the purposes of reviewing the employment history of a particular person or persons.
Second.
All in favor? Great. There'll be no further business after this executive session. Thank you all very much for being here.